Segment 1, Saracen Raiders and Basil the Bulgar Slayer. Let's kick things off on July 29, 904, when Leo of Tripoli decided to host a surprise party for Thessaloniki. Unfortunately, he forgot to bring cake and instead brought a fleet of Saracen raiders. Thessaloniki, the second largest city in the Byzantine Empire, found itself plundered and pillaged faster than your grandma's Facebook account during a phishing scam. Fast forward 110 years to 1014, and we meet Basil II. He wasn't throwing a party, he was ending one. At the Battle of Cleidion, Basil slapped the Bulgarian army so hard that it not only weakened the First Bulgarian Empire, but also earned Basil the nickname Bulgar Slayer. And how do you earn a title like that? You blind 15,000 enemy soldiers and send them back in groups of 100 with one guy who could still see. That's right. Basil turned the battlefield into a medieval game of Marco Polo. That doesn't scream, I mean business. I don't know what does. Segment 2, Sinking Ships and Royal Shenanigans. Jump ahead to July 29, 1588, where the Spanish Armada got clobbered off the coast of Gravelines. Spain brought 130 ships. England brought weather, and somehow the weather won. This battle marked the decline of Spain as the high school quarterback of the seas and the rise of England, who would go on to build an empire so big it required footnotes. But July 29 is also a hot date for Scottish royal drama. In 1565, Mary, Queen of Scots, married Lord Darnley. 2 years later, she was out, and her infant son, James VI, was crowned King of Scotland on the very same day in 1567. That's right, the royal family moved faster than a Hollywood divorce. Segment 3, Monumental Confusion and Cosmic Discoveries. In 1836, Paris officially opened the Arc de Triomphe, originally ordered by Napoleon because, well, you conquer half of Europe, you get a really big lawn ornament. But thanks to regime changes, it took 30 years, 3 monarchs, and a partridge in a pear tree to finally complete it. Then, in 1851, Italy decided the solar system needed more roommates. Annibale de Gasparis discovered asteroid 15 Eunomia, which sounds like the off-brand name of a new prescription drug or a dystopian nation in a bad YA novel. Meanwhile, back on Earth in 1858, the U.S. and Japan signed the Harris Treaty, opening up Japan for trade. It was the diplomatic equivalent of poking your shy friend until they finally joined the party. Segment 4, Dictators, Dissent, and the Bonus Beatdown. On July 29, 1921, Adolf Hitler officially took over the Nazi Party. And he did it like a toxic coworker faking a 2-week notice. I'm leaving, unless you make me the boss. Spoiler alert, they did. And that, kids, is how the 20th century got a whole lot worse. Jump to 1932, when 17,000 World War I veterans, known as the Bonus Army, camped out in Washington, D.C., asking for early payment on their bonuses. Herbert Hoover responded with tanks, tear gas, and enough PR disaster to gift wrap the White House for FDR. General Douglas MacArthur led the charge because nothing says thank you for your service like burning down a tent city of veterans. Segment 5. Let the Games Begin, and Nuclear Peacekeepers. Then in 1948, London hosted the 14th Summer Olympics. These were the first games after World War II, dubbed the Austerity Olympics, which sounds like a gym class hosted by your broke uncle. Despite food rationing and no frills, 59 nations showed up to compete, and for once, nobody invaded Poland. And on July 29, 1957, the IAEA was born. That's the International Atomic Energy Agency, for those of you who skipped Cold War 101. Its job? Make sure nations use nuclear energy for peaceful things, like powering cities or irradiating your Trader Joe's strawberries. Segment 6, Space is the Place and Royal Realities. A year later, in 1958, NASA was founded. America basically said, okay, Soviets, you got Sputnik, cute. Now watch us put a man on the moon, drive a dune buggy, and take a selfie before Instagram exists. And speaking of iconic images, how about July 29, 1981? Prince Charles and Lady Diana got married in a wedding so big, it made Super Bowl halftime shows look like high school pep rallies. 750 million people watched. That's a lot of people watching two rich folks exchange vows while secretly thinking, is she really going to wear that dress? Segment 7, Apologies and Acknowledgements. Finally, in 2008, the U.S. House of Representatives apologized for slavery and Jim Crow laws. Not with reparations, not with policy, but with words. It was a historic step in acknowledging past injustices. which is great, but also kind of like breaking someone's arm and offering them a Hallmark card 150 years later. And in 2021, the International Space Station temporarily spun out of control because of a Russian engine malfunction, which is basically the international version of your Zoom call freezing when your boss asks if you finished the report. So there you have it, folks. July 29th, a date with everything. Battles, treaties, royal drama, rockets, apologies, and a surprising number of monarchs having a very bad day. History doesn't always happen in a straight line. Sometimes it circles back, like a rogue Russian space module. But if July 29 teaches us anything, it's that humanity is really, really good at doing important things and then usually screwing them up. Until next time, keep your historical dates close and your bonus armies closer.